Welcome back. Glad you're still here. Glad you're not put off. We're up to stage 31 in the instruction book. What does that mean? Okay, I'm going to explain a few things here. Okay, the steps going forward concern the construction of what is the upper hull, the armoured shell that surrounds the chassis of the vehicle that we've already constructed. So there's multiple steps, you're adding PE details, and of course, let's just address that elephant in the room. We need to deal with all these rivets. I'll talk about that in a second. But if there's anything, you can flick through these pages as many times as you like, but no matter what, at stage 54, this has to happen. And also the interior, if you choose to, will be painted as well. So no matter what happens beforehand, that has to happen. And we need to think about how that's achieved, because I don't know yet when we build this how easily or not that is going to fit onto the chassis. So just bear that in mind and we'll come on to it. Okay, so here we are. Here's these rivets on a sprue. As you can see, they're pretty bloody small as well. And then in addition to that, we need to work out how they get placed on the plastic parts to add in that detail. Okay, so I've got a plan of action for that. Okay, just bear this in mind, okay? If you're, like, as I said, like a beginner, maybe just don't do this, you know? I mean, it really is an option for yourselves, yeah, not to do something like this. But in all honesty, I'll tell you straight up, if you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, if you're expert, it doesn't really make much difference. To do this, it's just a pain in the butt. That's all it is. And to achieve it, there's a couple of ways to do it. We're going to do it using the kit parts, but you could drill out little holes, you could insert rod, you could even get Archer decals that have got the rivets on them. You could add a drop of super glue and shape it. There's other ways to do it, but we're going to use the kit parts, and it's just a pain in the butt. That's all it is. Okay, let me show you what I've been doing. Yes, I've added all the rivets on these parts. I've lost the footage that I took of putting on the rivets. It's so blurred. I'll show you in the next bit, so don't worry. I'll show you how to do the rivets. So yeah, we made up the first section, and I'm going to repeat the same thing I did last time. Every time I build a part, I will dry fit to check out how the fit is, and this looks quite promising so far. Goes quite nice and snug into here, clicks in. Looks like we haven't got problems so far, but when we add a part, we need to check. So that's what we're going to be doing. Also started adding like the little bits of detail, like little PE sort of parts and things. Those have been added in. So I've been looking forward at the next series of steps, which is building up more of this upper armoured shell. What we need to do is do photo etch. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Show you how to do photo etch. So very first thing we're going to do, take our like flame lighter thing, and we're going to treat all the parts that need to be bended. Let's just treat the entire fret and get all that nice and toasty. Done. With your PE, don't forget to sand off the little burrs. I used to have a diamond file for that, but it's waylaid somewhere. And of course, the easiest way to do any photo etch bending is use one of these instruments. So let's just place that inside there, make the bend. Straightforward stuff. These things make things so much easier, really. There we are. First thing bent. First part bent, let's super glue it into position. Just wanted to show you that the piece fits perfectly over the rivets. Makes things so easy for us. Let's just super glue that in and continue. Okay, now the other thing I'm thinking about is these parts with the photo etch, they're the visors, you know, bits and pieces like that. And throughout the instructions, it's giving you options, obviously, you know, open, closed. So there's multiple ways you can pose things, yeah? but I want it to look pretty good, and also I want to show off the interior. So I'm definitely have the door open, like you can pose it open pretty easily. I'm gonna have one of the visors open, probably that one at the back. You can even have the rear door open, but to show off the engine, you can have it, there's like a hatch here that's got access to the engine, but there's also these side panels. God, they fit really well. I was surprised actually how well these fit. But I want to do something like this. I want to have the engine posed open as if they're working on the inside, so you can see all that lovely stuff that I did inside there, you know. So I'm going to think about that, how I can do it. But basically, I mean, there's nothing really to worry about so far. Things line up when you fit them together, and you can. The big one is that you can drop it on top when we've done the painting. So really, I'm just going to plough forward and work out which bits I can attach onto here, which bits I'm going to leave loose, and that's all there is to it. enjoyed the montage. Anyways, this is what I am trying to do. I'm trying to work out, basically, if I can get these parts to be put into these turrets later. It's just going to make it a bit easier because I want to paint the interior, and the machine gun's obviously like a machine gun. It's going to be black, it's going to be metallized, and I'm just trying to work out if I can do it. I think I've got an idea, basically, because this part's built up. It seems to drop in. I'll be able to do that. So the next things we need to do is add more rivets onto the round bit, the cupolas, whatever you call them, the turrets. And same thing again. Let's just get on with it, show you how it's done. So in each turret there's, there's 5, 10, and then another 6, so 16 per turret. When you look very closely, you can see that these little, tiny little bumps that indicate where they're meant to be. We are going to sort of shave them off and make a tiny little hole with our new X-Acto blade. Like I said, this is just to hold the glue, and it'll just make it easy to see where we place it. There we are, that's done. Just these ones here, you have to sort of guess where they are because there isn't really many markings for those ones. Okay, here we are, there we are, there's the holes. That's what we need to do, so let's go on the next bit. Okay, I found it just easy to use this chisel bladed X-Acto knife to sort of shave these guys off. Just get the blade really as flat as you can. There you go, there's one. Oh, I've not made a good job of that one, but it's still usable. And then I have a small dish to put them into. My God, they are small. Come on, come off the finger. Jesus H Christ. There we are, there's one. Right, okay, I'm going to try and do a better job on that one. Yeah, that's much better. This one doesn't want to come off. The next thing to do is to pick them up, and what I find is I use the tip of the blade and I just moisten it with a bit of saliva. It just seems to work. That's just the way I do it. There you go. I've got it. I've captured it. So that stays on there actually surprisingly well. Next thing, as you can probably guess, we need to get that placed on. So glue first. Just a little tiny bit. And then place on the bolt. And then just a little bit more cement. And then to move it around, if you need to move it around, just go back to your scalpel just to get it in position. And carry on. Good news. Basically, I think my build's finished. Bad news. Not enough time to paint it this week, so we're gonna have a full painting, weathering extravaganza, basically, to wrap everything up. Wow, this took up a lot of time doing all these little details and things. Good news is, of course, you probably saw that I've worked out that you can actually paint these parts separately, and the machine guns, but I've got so many small little pieces to paint. I've even got bits of photo etch that I need to paint separately. So anyways, that's just going to wrap everything up. Basically, it's good news, yeah, that you can, the crunch point is this, that we can build the entire vehicle, as we saw, like the upper chassis as one, separate from the lower, and we can get on with the painting. Yeah, so guys, that's me, the bear. I'm out of here, and see you in the next one.